What I want to talk about today is my autism diagnosis, how I found out that I'm on the spectrum. Um, but before I get into that, I just want to mention that I can't edit this video. My computer died on Christmas Day. Thank you, 2020. So there's going to be a raw, straight through video. So I might trail off a bit, so just an FYI. Anyways, um, I found out I'm autistic when I was 15, freshman in high school. I was in an IEP meeting and they kept tossing around Aspergers a lot, and I really didn't know what that word meant. Aspergers, I only heard it a few times in passing. I never referred to me though, so asked him what I asked him what Asperger's was. They're like, what does that mean? And they told me that's a form of autism that affects my ability to um, make eye contact, detect humor, and read faces. And that was a bit of a shocker to me because at that time I really didn't know what autism was besides like anything outside of Rain Man. It just seemed I just didn't see myself as that way. And this was back in 2003, and a lot of people didn't talk about autism as much as they do today. And it has a much clearer image because of all the advocacy that's been done over the years. But at that time, when I was in high school, it was a bit of a shock to me. And I asked them, like, did they just figure this out? How did they know? And they told me that they knew since third grade, but they didn't feel that it was time for me to know. I'll touch on that in a minute. But yeah, they knew from since third grade, and I that ticked me off a little bit. But again, it will make sense once I explain that. But yeah, I was still taken aback, a little surprised, but at the same time kind of happy that explanation for the way that I was, because I knew I was different. I didn't just be like, oh, it's a thing. Cool. I actually looked into Asperger's and autism for the next couple of weeks, and I just checked off all the boxes for it. I don't make eye contact. I don't make conversations with my peers. I don't get sarcasm. I just everything. I can't think of to list right now, but yeah, it was like reading myself, and a lot of things came into perspective that I just wasn't aware of before. And before the diagnosis, I thought I had an IEP and everything because of my ADHD diagnosis. That's all I knew is that before that is that I have ADHD, I'm in special ed, so the ADHD must make it so I'm not learning right. But after the revelation that I'm autistic, everything else just made sense, and I didn't feel like I was dumb or broken or anything like that anymore. The diagnosis gave me permission to be more of myself, and I disregarded all the strategies in school that teachers try to give me to learn better. So I just started doing what felt natural to me. I learned through color patterns and numbers. So with that, I advanced more in history, social studies, and just like I think like math and science. I can't remember, but definitely the history one. I remember going up more, and I don't remember which class exactly because it was high school and I don't give a damn. But yeah, that, and with, give me a minute, I have my points written down. Yeah, so socializing got a bit easier for me. If anything was like, I'd be awkward or weird and just didn't understand like what was an appropriate thing to joke about, or I kind of got more of that where that line was, because people would be like, "What the fuck am I on? I have a thing. I don't understand really what happened. Please explain." And some people were cool. Some people were dicks. And I started, when I got more open about being autistic and being more aware of myself, I also got like the prejudice of autism that people like me face. Sometimes I'd be like, "Oh no, I'm not stupid. I'm autistic," and people would be like, "Well, fuck you. That's just another label for being stupid. You piece of shit." Yeah, I don't talk to those people. That is where I cut them off. So, but despite that negativity, I did find a lot of more compassionate people. I do have some pretty good friends, and they help me out with social cues and stuff. Because of one of my friends, I now get sarcasm, and that is a big help to balance a lot of life, because a lot of people are not going to be direct, and I've been able to tap into that, I guess you could say, and kind of throw it back and go with the ambiance of the conversation. So my diagnosis actually helped me get further ahead than not knowing that I'm autistic, because when I know that I have, knowing that I got, I'm autistic. I don't like to say that I have autism, because I don't view it as a sickness or anything like some people do, because they suck. I see it as just being different. And that's all what really autism is. It's like being left-handed in a right-handed world. You just come at everything at a different angle. Things are different. And you can call it like being socially blind, but that's just like a small slither of it. And there are times where, I'm still like oblivious to a thing where I don't always get the sarcasm still, so it just goes over my head. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And people are like, what the fuck? What the F? I'm not serious on that. And I don't have an actual example, but yeah, if I just face a prejudice, if I just walk away from that, and yeah, my friends actually help me a lot. I have a few friends, and they're very supportive, very understanding, and they just help me out with a lot of things too. So, but yeah, the advantages of knowing you're autistic, it's just gonna help you out in life. It's gonna help you understand who you are. So if someone's autistic but they don't know it, I would say let them know about it, because it is something that they are entitled to know. It's not your thing to hold on to. And just depending on the person, it's all depending on how you explain it. Some people could just be, like really down about themselves. Some people, I think, I haven't met anyone that takes it bad, but I'm sure there are people out there who just takes it negatively, and there are a lot of people out there that are autistic that the older I get, the more I notice them, I run into them. I actually have a long distance friend who's autistic. Her name's Mary, and she lives in England, originally from Scotland. So the internet is a pretty cool place to meet other autistics. what was my next point? Oh yeah, another thing that helped me out with the social cues, by the way, is TV. So watching The Office helped me out with a lot of the sarcasm and little subtleties that people give off. That's a good show to watch if you want to pick up on that kind of thing. But yeah, my diagnosis wasn't exactly late, but me getting cued in on it was, looking back, it does seem kind of like what the F moment, but at the same time, it's like, it made sense of how the news was broken to me, because I was outwardly asking the questions of like, why am I different? And yeah, I guess I was just like ready to know myself. And autism it has a bad image because people give it a bad image, and it's actually not bad at all. Yeah, there's some things that are difficult for me, like bright lights. I do a lot of natural lighting in my house during the day. Some people just turn on all lights, and I hate that. It's not comfortable. Like large groups of people, I don't like that at all. I feel very shoved out no matter what. So and I'm introverted too. So I prefer like small groups of people, staying in a lot. But I like to go out and socialize, so there's a lot of stereotype of autistics don't like socializing. I do. A lot of us do. It's just depending on like who it is, how they like to. Everyone doesn't like to party, so I don't go to bars and stuff. I did a little bit when I was in my early 20s, but I just wasn't my thing. I wasn't uncomfortable. I don't like alcohol. I don't like I just don't like the atmosphere of a bar. It's just not me. And I think the alcohol thing might be, I don't think I'd chalk it up to like a food sensory thing. I just think alcohol is disgusting in general. I don't have the food problem that some autistics have. My food problems come from allergies. But since I got my diagnosis or cued in on it, life has been a lot easier to navigate because I just know myself and I have answers like, will this work for me? No, it won't. So, and I am independent, and there's one thing that got easier. I don't know, I wouldn't say easier since my diagnosis, but yeah, another thing I wanted to mention was when I was a kid, I did not know how money worked at all. But I got it now. Because people worked with me on it, but I'm pretty good with money, so that's just something that I didn't get as a kid before I knew my diagnosis. Money was just like an abstract thing that just didn't make sense to me, like, oh, you give people things and then you get it was more of a just over the head type thing, but people broke it down for me, and I'm really good with money now. It's kind of like the sarcasm. I didn't get it at first, it didn't make sense, but people broke it down, explained it to me, I got it, I'm good with it now, and I understand it as a resource and all that. But should I make a video on that? I don't know. But yeah, I'm running out of things to talk about, but yeah, the discovery of knowing you're autistic is just a life-changing thing, and if you know somebody and they don't know, let them in on it, because they are just gonna advance more in life, and I can live on my own now. And I'm sure in another lifetime, if I didn't know I was autistic, probably like 60 years ago or whatever, I probably wouldn't make it this far. I don't know really. But another thing on the prejudice is a lot of people keep going to the vaccine thing. That's a myth, and it's pissing me off that people still think that. And it pisses me off like flat earthers. And it doesn't cause, vaccines don't cause autism, because I'm not fully vaccinated. I can't be because of medical reasons. So, ha. But that's really all I got. I'm running out of, I'm just stammering now. But what I want to go over is what I'm gonna, what you can expect from this channel, because I'm gonna make more videos. I'm gonna do more videos on autism. I'm gonna do more videos on cooking and more guitar projects. The other two are special interests of mine, so it is autism related. So please like and subscribe, and if there's anything you want me to cover about autism, just let me know in the comments. Thanks.